everyone. Welcome to the Star Wars Popcast, episode 4. My name is Christopher,
And I'm Patrick. Thanks for joining us today.
and we are talking about Red Light Saber series, Volume 2, potential Funko Pops we could get in that series, as well as just other dark side users, Sith, that we'd like to see as Funko Pops as well. We'll be talking to our special guest, Tony, from the Star Wars Sith YouTube channel and podcast. We'll be talking to him later in this episode, but first, there was a Rancor with Grogu Funko Pop that was released through Entertainment Earth for what was it, the Mandalorian? No, the Book of Boba Fett, I think it is.
Book of Boba Fett, correct?
Yeah. So I've seen comments about this on Facebook, on my other YouTube channel. I had a comment about it where what happened. I guess the Star Wars logo on some of these movie moments, they usually put it on the front of the base on the way that it's intended to be facing you. But I guess in this case, they put it on the back side. So when you look at it,
rumors are definitely confirmed. I did an unboxing, so I have it with me and I could show you. So,
okay.
So when you're looking at the box, right? This is what you would see when you're looking at the window, right? That's exactly what you look like.
Yeah.
Really nice looking. Well, one, it's a great looking pop. You've got a scaled version of Grogu here.
Yeah.
His head's got a bobble. The Rancor's got a nice little bobble to his big head. But to confirm the rumor, it doesn't have Book of Boba Fett on the logo. It is the Star Wars logo, but it's on the backside.
Yeah.
And I say backside because looking at this from this view, you don't really see little guy Grogu really from this angle. So that's to me why I think that this was possibly put on the wrong side. That's just my opinion.
So for people listening, what Patrick is talking about. So the Star Wars logo, when you look at it with the Star Wars logo facing you, the Rancor's head is turned away from you. Grogu is facing the opposite way, so you see Grogu's back. So now, for me, that's not a big deal. I don't know about you, Patrick. Like, is that a big deal for you?
No, because for me, I try not to include the bases in any of my images and stuff.
Yeah.
So really, it doesn't matter. The reason I only like the bases is just so they stand and you don't have to worry about them falling over.
Right.
I know there's a lot of toy photographers that will heat them up in hot water to pop them off. In many cases, it's great. I just don't ever want to risk busting the pop because some of the ones that I've wanted to do that to, they're too delicate, like Grievous, things like that.
Yeah.
So I've just had to leave them on that. So I don't mind leaving it on the base. I'll probably work the base somehow into the shot. But the fact that logo is not there on the front for me, it's one less thing to have to Photoshop out. The fact that it's on the backside, but it's not a deal breaker for me by any stretch. I don't care if it's on there or not. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
it is a great pop though.
Yeah, it does look great, and it's one that I still have to order. I didn't actually do the pre-order because I can't actually order from Entertainment Earth, which is something actually we talked about last week in the last stream when we were talking about where to buy a Funko Pops there. But yeah, for me, it's not a deal breaker either. Like, for example, like I have what is it, Luke or Leia on the speeder bike, and it's on the side of the pop, so you got to display it sideways. But if you have them lined up, if you had like say Luke and Leia and the Ewok and the Scout Trooper all lined up, and you wanted them all facing with the front of the speeder bike facing you, you wouldn't see the logo anyways. So
yeah,
I don't see it as a deal breaker for a lot of collectors. There might be some collectors who might not get it because of that, but I think Funko, like, where is your quality control? Like, what are they doing? How come it's like that?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, all I could think of is that when they did it, I mean, it seems to me, because I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but it is a slight color difference between the base and that logo. So
that
might
have been something they put on after.
I think it was infused in the mold, maybe while it's still warm. I don't know how they do that. And maybe as it went through, it just got approved. And, I guess it can be very easily when you're looking at it, what direction, depending on again, if it was going to face the window, like again, when you're looking at the window, to me, this is the intended way it's supposed to be viewed. So
Yeah.
you would see it here. I don't mind it, but the pop itself is gorgeous. I mean,
Oh yeah,
look
it
at
looks
the
gorgeous.
detail on this. I mean,
I wish I had that.
I love the little bobble. The bobble of this kind
Oh,
of
that is
reminds me.
awesome.
Yeah, it reminds me of the original Sand Trooper
Yep.
that
With the
came with the
dewback.
dewback
Yeah.
and just a head kind of wobbled. So it's got that, but I mean, it's just a massive beast of a creature. It
Yeah.
looks
So
so cool.
is Grogu, is he just like a standard size?
No, he is not. So he is more like one of those itty bitty pop sizes. I
Oh,
think
okay.
if you can kind of see, he's like
Yeah, it's tough to tell in the
he's
video.
about an inch. Yeah,
Yeah. So he's
he's
tiny.
very small.
Yeah.
So to compare him to another pop, let's see. All right.
Yeah, see, so because like I was when I
So the
originally saw the image of
other
it.
dot I have is a smaller one, right? Of the normal size pops. So I'll stand him against
Yeah,
that.
okay. Yeah.
Give you an
Yeah.
idea.
See, so when I saw this announced, I was like, wow, this thing's gonna be huge because if Grogu's a regular size Funko Pop, then the Rancor is gonna be absolutely massive. But
Correct.
they shrunk it down so the Grogu is like an itty bitty pop, and then the Rancor is more, I guess maybe like a 6-inch pop. Yeah, is that what you would say?
Yeah, I would say so because he's definitely the size of like a pop ride. Like he himself is like a pop ride.
Oh,
He's
okay.
so
Yeah.
I could see them maybe changing this sculpt up a bit to then have your Boba Fett riding on him.
Yeah, that would look amazing.
I sure hope to God they take this, they reuse parts of that sculpt to do that. Because
Yeah,
could you imagine seeing something like this, like him rearing up maybe with his arms out, clawing at things,
right.
Boba Fett riding them, gun drawn?
How
Check out
awesome would that be? Because like
that would
that
be,
was actually a rumored pop we talked about in what was it,
yeah,
episode 2 of the
yeah.
podcast.
I
Yeah,
hope it. I hope that rumor does
I
come to
hope that rumor
fruition.
comes true as well. And again,
Yeah.
like it's going to be pretty massive too, because he's going to be standing on the hind
Oh,
legs.
that's gotta be bigger than like the Eope, or the Bantha. It's gotta
Yeah, you
be
got to
like
make it
that
bigger.
large size. It's
Yeah,
gotta be.
yeah, you got to.
But I think they did a really great job. I mean, I know me showing you on screen here doesn't do it justice, but like you get all the wrinkles. I'll pull it up again. I mean, if you could
Yeah,
see you get all these great wrinkles in the skin, you kind of get the kind of shell kind of
yeah,
way
on
it
the back there.
sculpts.
Yeah,
Really, really nice.
it looks really impressive.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
looks
great looking
really
sculpt,
impressive. Yeah, that looks great.
and the way they did the chain was kind of nice on it too, because it looks like it kind of connects down, but they gave it a nice break in the chain that it kind of overlaps the bobble, so it doesn't ever really look like it's not totally connected the way it is.
Okay, yeah,
They did a cool job. They
yeah, I'm
really did.
definitely gonna have to get that one. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's the first topic about on episode 4 here of the Star Wars Popcast. Yeah, that Star Wars logo. So again, both of us not a deal breaker for either of us. I can see it being a deal breaker for some people, but yeah, no. The main reason I wanted to bring this up is like where was the quality control at Funko, right? Like
Yeah, I'm not sure
a
on that one.
company that a company that large should. I don't know if that's something that they should miss.
I'm sure they did, but the other thing is, I think people thought it might have had, because I was wondering where would they get the idea of the Book of Boba Fett, and I think on the back of the box is maybe what they're talking about. It clearly has Book of Boba Fett on the back,
Yeah,
so maybe they thought that's what it was going to have in it, but it's definitely the Star Wars logo, and I haven't seen them really change that much.
yeah. No,
Whenever
it's
they put
always
the
the Star
logo,
Wars logo.
always
Yeah,
said Star Wars, so.
yeah.
I was actually glad it didn't have Book of Boba Fett because that kind of would have jumped the shark in the collecting it. It would have had some different kind of nameplate on it.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't change the logo on it because that's what people are thinking too. But yeah,
Yeah, it
I'm
looks
glad they
good.
didn't.
It does. It's a good looking pop. And I did
Yeah,
just recently. I did my first "What's in the box,"
yeah,
where I did a quick unboxing of it. The moment I got it, I just saw this big box, said Entertainment Earth. I
yeah,
was hoping and praying, and when I opened it up, I think you can even tell by the reaction, I was very surprised.
yeah. That's awesome. So let's jump into our next topic. So we're going to be talking to Tony from the Star Wars Sith YouTube channel, and we're going to be talking about the Red Lightsaber series, what we could
Yeah.
see in the possible Volume 2, and just Star Wars Sith and Dark Side characters we'd like to see made into Funko Pops in general. So, okay, so we are here with Tony from the Star Wars Sith channel. Thank you for coming on the Star Wars Popcast, Tony.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, so before we get into our main topic here, talking about the Red Lightsaber series of Funko Pops, we just want to ask you a few questions here. So
Awesome.
the first of which, how many Star Wars Funko Pops do you have in your collection?
Oh man. Oh wow. It has to be close to 200 plus. So I probably have like maybe 250-ish in my collection, but a majority of it is Star Wars. So I would say minimum at least 200, if not more, are Star Wars Pops. So I've been collecting them since 2015. So they've been
Okay.
accumulating over a while, but at least 200 of plus are Star Wars.
Yeah, so that's probably about the same time I started collecting
Yeah.
Funko Pops. Anyway, Star Wars for a while, but Funko Pops, that's when I probably got into it about the same time there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got involved with the Smuggler's Bounty. It was kind of like a fluke. It was, to try to decorate my little area.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
have any
miss those.
swag.
And I
Yeah,
wish they came. I wish they came to Canada too. Like we couldn't order it up here.
Oh, that's
wow.
a bummer.
Yeah, so a lot of the exclusives I found on the secondary market. So
Those boxes were amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
They were. They were
Yeah.
just a treat every other month. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get 2 pops, maybe like I got like t-shirts, you get some
Yeah.
swag.
A
Right.
hat, a
It was
mug.
definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So the next question we have for you, I don't know if you know it or not, but what's the most expensive Funko Pop, the Star Wars Funko Pop that you have in your collection? Do you have an idea?
It's the 2020 NYCC Boba Fett bundle. It was only released online. It was out of 1,000. It goes for like 800 or like 770, something
Oh, wow.
ridiculous. But it was a shock drop. So in 2020, when New York Comic Con happened, it was only online. So you had to enter a raffle on Funko site to be able to buy stuff. So I won that raffle. I'm in the site. I'm scrolling through, adding the few to the cart that I wanted. And when I got to the bottom of the list, it was a Boba Fett bundle for $100 retail. And I was like, what the heck is this? So when I looked at it, it was the Boba Fett in the hard stack with like the art on it. And then
Yeah.
it was a Loungefly Slave One backpack. And I almost hesitated because I was like, I just want the pop. I don't want the bag because it was $100. But I was like, whatever. I'll just get it. It was an impulse buy and I bought it. And I'm glad I did because it sold out. And everyone online was pissed off because it was a surprise. Nobody knew about it. And if you didn't scroll to the bottom of the list, you didn't see it.
Ah, what's that pop? What's
Nice.
it look like? Is it a different variation?
I'll grab it right now.
Okay, awesome. So for those of you watching and listening, so I'll put Tony's information down in the description below for you guys to check him out. So he's got a YouTube channel, he's got Instagram, all that stuff.
So here is this bad boy right here.
Okay, yeah. I remember that one.
Yep. Out of 1,000 pieces.
So that's the most expensive one, eh?
Yep, that bad boy right there.
And then the last question we have for you, maybe it's the same pop, maybe it's not. What's your favorite Star Wars Funko Pop that you own?
That's a tough one, I
Ooh.
bet. It's gonna come down to 2.
It is, but it isn't. And I'm going to show you guys that one too because it has a cool story.
Okay. So for me, it's tough to pick because I've got like 300 plus Funko Pops in my collection. So for me, it's a little bit harder for me to pick a favorite.
Yeah,
But it looks like Tony's got a favorite.
Yeah, it's tough to pick, but it's because the story that's behind it. Because like the feeling I had when I saw it on the shelf, I was in shock, disbelief, and I ran to the fixture.
Okay.
So it's the Obi-Wan Kenobi. It originally was the 2020 online. Yeah,
Yes.
so when this first released, you had to enter a raffle online to be able to buy it. And I entered the raffle, didn't win it, and I was bummed because I wanted it. And like it was going for damn near $1,000. And I'm like, I'm never gonna own this pop in my life. I'm never gonna buy it. And
Right.
literally a few months before Celebration in Anaheim in 2022, I was looking on eBay and I'm like, damn, 700-800 still. Like, I want this pop, but I'm never gonna own it. And I remember I was like looking on eBay. So the first day at Celebration, we get into the Celebration store, and from the 3,000 of this that they released online, they kept about 500 of them to the side, and they put them out on the first day on the floor. So when I walked in, it was there, a bunch of them on display for $15, and I almost had a heart attack because I was like,
Oh,
15
you
bucks.
gotta be kidding!
Yeah.
Yeah,
15?
retail. So I ran, I grabbed it so quick. I almost didn't want to buy nothing else in the store. I wanted just to check out and leave because I didn't feel it was real. It was just such a crazy experience.
Too
Wow.
good a deal.
But to
Yeah.
get it for that price, and like, yeah, man, like I'll never forget that moment and that feeling.
Yeah. That's a
Wow,
great
That's
story.
impressive.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you go to a lot of the celebrations and stuff and a lot of the conventions, don't you?
Yeah, and getting stuff like that is never that easy. And usually everybody knows that it's there, and the lines are crazier because everyone wants to get it, but nobody knew it was just out on the floor, and everyone was shocked.
Nice. Such
Yeah,
a fantastic story.
yeah,
So let's jump into our main topic here. So we're talking about Red Lightsaber series. So somewhat of I guess somewhat of a specialty of yours, since your
yes.
Star Wars Sith channel, your name.
Oh
So
yeah.
actually, how did you come up with the name? Is it just because you like all the dark side users?
Well, yeah, I think it was a combination of that. I was trying to come up with something that was like catchy, easy to say, easy to remember.
Yeah,
And then like, I like Maul, Sith, Star Wars Sith. I kind of was that. I originally wanted to do Tony Fett, like Boba Fett, but Tony Fett.
yeah,
But there was already a channel with that, and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of out there, kind of done. It wasn't like a huge channel, but like it was already semi-established. So when I
yeah,
Sure.
searched Star Wars Sith, there wasn't much or anything. So I just ran with that.
yeah. So we figured we'd talk about the Red Lightsaber series because of your love for the Sith.
Yes.
So what do you think of Volume One so far? So we'll kind of go through the list here. The first wave, because on the packaging it does say what volume. Actually, I
It
got
says
one of
volume
mine.
one, clear as
Yeah, it says
day.
Volume One
So
clear as
Yeah,
day. Yeah,
volume
let
one.
me just pull up my
that's an indication we might get volume two.
yeah,
We better,
like
if
because
not, why
looking
would
at
you
my
title it
Savage,
that?
which I just picked up here, um,
Nice.
yeah, it does say Red Lightsaber Series Volume One.
Yeah,
So
all of them do. So
yeah, so starting with Darth Sidious, what did you think of the Darth Sidious one as a
Oh,
first one?
I loved it. I mean, what better way to start off a red lightsaber series than with Palps himself? So that one, it was awesome. Definitely a good start. And then I know when we saw the back, you could kind of tell just by the shadows who the entire
Yeah,
line was. So it
yeah,
was really no secret. But no, it was a great start, and I'll take as many Darth Sidious pops as you give me. I'll never get sick of that, man.
yeah,
I was like really excited about this one, guys, because I felt that this is the first Sidious or Palpatine we've gotten where it's not the lightning, but actually
yes,
holding a lightsaber. It's the
Yeah,
first
that's
one. So I
true.
was really
yeah,
pumped for that.
exactly. Yeah, that's the same reason I wanted to get that one too. Is the lightsaber, and I'm pretty sure like the pose they used, it's the one from Revenge of the Sith, as just before he attacks Mace Windu, possibly.
Yeah, yep, that's what it looks like for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So that one was fantastic. So the next one, Darth Maul. So Tony,
Oh,
I know you love that one because I know we've talked about it a few times that your favorite character is Darth Maul there. So
that was
you must have been all over that one.
instantly no brainer. Got it right away. Paid full price gladly because you know me. Usually I'll wait for a deal, a sale, a coupon. No,
Yeah,
I had mall right away, and then the one after that, both of them like I needed them right away. Like no, so I'm glad they did it, and the more mall they make, the more merrier I am. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was the same way. Like, I mean, I picked them all up full price because up here in Canada, we didn't get the sales that you guys got down there on these things. So,
Mm.
but they're cool. Like all of them, they're so cool. Like the way they put them on the base with the lava and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I thought that was a neat way to kind of incorporate the whole series, to kind of
yeah,
have a theme to it. That was pretty smart. Because they
yeah,
did that with what was it, the Amazon Hoth series, right?
Yeah.
They all kind
Yep.
of
yeah,
had like
all on
that
the
Yep.
snow
snow
base.
base.
Yeah,
So this
Yep.
was kind of a nice tie-in to all of them, because at first I was like, well, you never see Maul and Mustafar, but you know what? That aside, it just looks cool. Like the way they
Yeah.
did
yeah,
the bases on them, I do like it. Very good. And they're all strong poses. The Maul one, for sure. Double blade, looking tough.
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, one thing that I had to nitpick about for the mall, like I think that was the mall that was missing the eyelids, wasn't it? When you actually got the pop. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
was
missing
it?
those eyelids. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
So
I gotta
that
check.
was the
Yeah,
only thing I didn't
oh,
like
I
because
did not
he
notice
would have.
that till
Yeah,
now. Wow. Yeah, it looks a little bit more menacing with the eyelids.
yeah. So it's too bad we didn't get the eyelids, but I mean, he still looks super cool.
No, yeah, for sure. I should write an email to Funko. Hey,
oh,
my Darth Maul's missing his eyelids.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Is it really?
yeah,
Because mine
Yeah.
looks. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, he
Yeah, it's
sort of
just the
has.
full eyes. No, if you look at the
Yeah.
picture, like his eyes looks like he's like wincing, like he's about to hit.
yeah,
Oh yeah, you know what? I kind of see that a little more now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
It's like more of on an angle. Yeah, I didn't
yeah,
even
Yeah.
realize that. Wow.
yeah. So that was my only complaint about it, but other than that, such an awesome pop, and like Patrick mentioned, like a strong pose. So and like Darth Maul, I gotta pick that one up.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's small.
So the next one was Savaggio Press, and this is the very first Savaggio Press Funko Pop that we got. Did you get yours? I think you got yours, didn't you?
Yeah. So I was super happy they did this because I know GameStop had the Gaming Greats, the Knight Brother, the
Yes.
yellow one, and I got that, and I'm like, well, in my mind, this is Savage, whatever, because they're never gonna release a Savage. And then they released this, and I was like, oh, that's great. Like I feel better. It's actually Savage now. I hope they release him in like a single in like a
Yes.
Clone Wars box. Like, come on, that would just be great. Like you have the head sticking on another body, we'll buy
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought the Savage was pretty awesome. Like I went to my GameStop, and it was funny is because I had him pre-ordered, and I was picking up some other items there, and like a Mando mystery box and whatnot. So when I got there, they said I was checking on it, and again, it hasn't shipped yet. And I just walked by three of them, and the attendant at the store was like, "Do you want to just grab one here, and then I'll mark it off that's already delivered and cancel the one shipping?" I was like, "Perfect." So I got
Nice.
to walk out with it. I actually shot him last night. He's really, really cool. But one
Yeah.
detail I noticed when I was lighting them up last night, and I don't know if you guys noticed, unlike a lot of the other pops, and especially in this series, if you look at Savage's painting of the treatment of his garment, it
Yep.
looks a little more like Retro series, just a little bit. It didn't have the detail of the paint on schemes of some of the others. And I never realized that until I was lighting it up last night, because I was like,
Oh wow.
am I throwing a little too much on this side that it's given that? I was like, oh no, that, and I looked at it again. I'm like, no, it is kind of painted like that
Yeah.
gray with the black. It kind
Yeah.
of, I thought I'd see a little more of that metallic-y finish or something they do. So it's slightly different, but I love the pose on this one because you really kind of, it took me a moment to kind of see his hand placement on holding that double bladed saber because it's behind him. And the way
Yeah.
I photographed it leaves a little shadow on that part of the hand and hilt as it goes behind. But I wanted to make sure that I captured on the angle that you can kind of get the other end of it coming out on the back on that right side of him if you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's cool. And his garment seems like it's like swooping and like kind of coming out a little bit. It's a really nice design.
Yeah. Yeah. All these poses are really great. But yeah, looking at my Savaggio Press, yeah, I see what you mean. Like the
Yeah,
gray on his robes, they kind of painted it on when they usually they'll like make a mold for the fabric, right?
correct. I was a little like, huh. Again, I love it. Not going to say too much about. I think they did a great job. I just
Yeah.
thought that I would have seen a little bit different treatment of the paint scheme. It just seemed to me more a little like the retro, a little bit,
Mm.
Yeah.
and they might
Which
have
is
borrowed
okay
techniques
though,
from
too.
that series.
Yeah, for sure. So the next one is Darth Tyrannus, which is Count Dooku. I don't have that one yet. That one doesn't come out, or at least my pre-order says not until March, I think, or February maybe.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
So
what
I know
are your thoughts on that one?
I know it's out. It's out. I've seen it before. I haven't bought it yet, which I don't know why, because like it's freaking awesome. I loved how they used his like official name, like Darth Tyrannus, on there.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
that's cool. That's different. Because I have the other Dooku pop. I think it was a Smuggler's Bounty, and I think it says
Yeah.
It
Dooku on it,
was.
right?
Yep.
So that's cool that it has that. It makes it like a little bit different. I just gotta go pick it up. I don't even know why I haven't. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I
I'm actually
like
shocked.
this one
I'm
even
shocked
better
that you
than the
don't have it.
normal.
Yeah, the pose with the holding the force.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a little bit more than the original Smuggler's Bounty one. It just a lot tighter looking,
Yeah,
more
Yeah.
detail too.
no,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
agree. I mean, you got to think that. When did that Smuggler's Bounty one come out? 'Cause that's one that I don't
Oh,
got. But when did that
like
It's
come out?
got to be like
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I
4
was
or
gonna
5
say 4
years.
or 5
Yeah.
years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
So
it's
And
old.
we
I
haven't
mean,
had another instance of Dooku since. And I know we're
yeah.
all waiting for a Tales of the Jedi version.
Yes.
Oh,
Right?
please,
Clean
young,
Yeah.
this up. Give him a brown
old.
hair, brown robes, blue lightsaber.
Yeah.
Call it good because it's a
Yeah.
good look. So this is a good looking design. Like you could really take this one, put a normal base on it, and I think the collectors for Tales of the Jedi would love that because
Oh
it's a
yeah.
nice looking pose. And he did something similar in Tales of the Jedi when he was
With
fighting
the
the
Force. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
The Force choke.
So
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, looking at it, it looks really awesome. Um, but yeah, no. But what we figure 5 years between the first Dooku and this pop, so Funko's come a long way with like their posing and
Oh
their
yeah,
their
Yeah,
details and stuff like that.
for
So
I
sure.
was gonna say, yeah, we talked about this quite a bit. Like I think their posing and the sculpting has
yes,
gone beyond what it used to be. Because
Oh yeah,
I felt for me as a collector, I didn't want them all to kind of be in that same
stiff.
kind of
Yeah.
fire
Yeah,
plug hero stance. Like after seeing it when they first came out, that's probably why I didn't buy them. I'll be honest.
yeah,
I was like, they look cool, they're kind of neat, they got the round eyes, but as they started kind
yeah,
of getting better poses and better sculpts, and I got the Smuggler's Bounty, I was like, oh, these are awesome. Like they
yeah,
really turned the corner. And I think in the last 2 years, they've really kind of done it because I feel like it's not just the sculpt, but a lot of the sculpts is the fabrics. They're really getting in the textural
yeah,
detail of the
yeah.
character more now than they ever have. So they've done fantastic work.
yeah. I agree. So the last one, which is coming, is that Darth Vader one, and I think we all knew that from the silhouette that was on the back of the box. So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think you get the Red Saber series and not include him.
right. I
yeah.
would be disappointed if they didn't include him in the first volume. But yeah, no, that. What do you think about
So
another Vader pop?
I mean, you can't have enough Vader pops. Now this one is out for us here in the States. I'm pretty sure I've seen it before. I haven't grabbed it just yet because like I already do have a million Vader pops, but it's on my list like for sure. I'll probably
Yeah,
just wait until there's like a little sale and just pick up both of them. Cause like I'm spoiled. I have a bunch of GameStops by me and I see them at every one. So like in my mind, I know, okay, I can pick this up anytime. But I'm
yeah,
definitely gonna get it because I want to have like a shot of all of them like opened up together.
yeah.
Nice.
Because their bases kind of sit kind of they interlock a little bit.
Kind of, yeah. You could put it together and make it look like a big like island almost.
Yeah, yeah. So they kind of line the lava up, so it kind of lines up if you put their bases together. So I like that.
Oh, that's cool because I figured they might do that, but I haven't tried it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. No, I
Because I have
really
the
like the pose on
previous.
this one. This Darth Vader
yeah.
one. It looks really cool. Like both hands on the
Both
lightsaber,
hands on the
swinging that
saber.
thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's a strong. It's a lot different because a lot of them he's single handed on most of them. So it is a
yeah,
nice strong
I
pose.
think all of them actually, if I'm not mistaken. Like looking
yeah.
at the ones I have.
This is the only one where he has both hands on there. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I think so too.
Let me see. Then the large one, does he have one hand?
The large
Yeah,
one.
even
Yeah.
the 10-inch,
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
the
Yeah.
10-inch, he's got one hand. I was like, huh. Let me
Yep.
check.
Yeah, no, that two-handed pose. That's That's awesome. That's like that's bringing back like thoughts of like the Empire Strikes Back when he's like two-handing it, right, against
Yeah,
Luke.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I like the way they're going with that. Um, but since there is a volume one, there's got to be a Red Lightsaber series volume 2 coming. So they planned it that way, definitely. So we've got a list of some Red Lightsaber characters, and like at the top of our list, we got Asajj Ventress for volume 2.
Mm.
So we're
We haven't
hoping.
ever gotten one, and
Yeah, we
yeah,
haven't
me
even
neither.
gotten one.
Yeah, like this is a character that has a story arc that's been told through animation and through novels, right? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yep.
I really feel that we missed out on such a really cool character, like someone that left the Night Sisters, became Dooku's apprentice,
Yeah.
fought and basically gave the scar to Anakin. If you saw the Samurai Jack version of Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
That episode, if anyone hasn't seen it, go and watch that, because the scene where they're fighting in the rain and you hear the sizzle of the rain hitting the lightsabers,
Ooh.
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then to see her arc in Clone Wars with Ahsoka and Barriss Offrey and all that thing going on, great story there. And then if you read the books where she kind of goes with Quinlan, and that whole it's very cool character,
Yeah.
very
Such a
deserving.
great character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the collectors that we had spoken to before has like an Asajj Ventress, like what's that line where it's like the statue Unleashed? It's the
Oh
Unleashed.
yeah, Unleashed. Yeah.
Oh,
That is fire.
Yeah.
Tony, I'm surprised you don't have that, being a big Sith collector, because that is awesome.
I
It's
wanna
probably
say-
the best Ventress thing out there that I've seen yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I stay away from statues though, because that's a rabbit hole that's very pricey and
Yeah.
it takes a lot of space. And if you can't just buy one statue, so I have no statues. So yeah,
There you go.
it's dangerous. But Asajj though, yeah, it's funny you guys have her first. She was number one on my list too, without even talking to you guys about it. And like you mentioned, like she has so much story, like especially in the Clone Wars. Like she fought Kenobi a million times. She fought
Yeah.
Anakin a million times. She teamed up with Kenobi to fight Maul and Savage at one point. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So she's number one, and like it would make sense for them to try testing her out in the Red Blade series, just like they did with Savage, because I mean he's only in that. So I mean,
Yeah.
why not? So but we need like a lot of her, because she just has so much. And like I don't know if you guys read the book Dooku, what was it called, Jedi Lost Dooku.
Yeah.
that
I haven't
book,
read that one.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And her
Oh, okay.
story,
Check it out.
yeah. So it's about Dooku, about him as a Padawan, and then it flashes back between him younger and older. And when he's older, he's taking Asajj under his wing, and he's sending Asajj out to find his sister. And it's just, she's crazy. Dooku is a savage. That book is amazing. Like it's a must
right.
read. Must read.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna. It's been on my list of books to read. It's just trying to find the time. So I think I got to get it like an audiobook version.
Audio,
so
yeah.
can-
Do the audio.
Yeah.
I started
it's
doing
amazing.
Audible for that, Chris, just so that I can listen to something while I'm working, and that's what I tend to do.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
did the Battlefront game or whatnot that had Iden Verso, that whole storyline.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. So next on the list we have Star Killer or Galen Merrick.
I didn't even think of this one. Like when I saw this on the list, I'm like, oh wow, that would be freaking awesome.
They could have two versions of this guy, because you have him without the armor, but then I totally forgot we just saw the armor in Andor recently. Like, bring on the armor as well. Like I should have put a second slide, like Star Killer, Galen Merrick, and then Star Killer with armor, because that helmet is just tight.
Yeah. And I think, like Tony said, like for testing characters, this Red Lightsaber series is a good way to test these characters that they haven't done. And if they don't do it in that one, they could do it in the gaming greats.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't do it. I was going to say, Chris, like, why to pick out like random Night Sister and not Star Killer in gaming greats? Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought he would have already been a for sure because they had 2 versions of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even Hasbro is re-releasing the vintage collection figure of Starkiller. So that's coming out this year. They're re-releasing it for the one from years ago. So it's like there's a little bit of momentum. Like people are going to see the vintage figure. They'll see the
Nice.
Funko. They're going to want both.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get a little surprise cameo in the next Fallen Order Survivor.
Oh,
That would be
would
cool.
be beautiful.
Yeah.
Him and Cal having a little interaction. That could be pretty dope.
Cal will get his ass kicked though by Starkiller. Oh man, that'll be fun though.
Hey, you never know. Maybe that he kind of meets up with him, and that's what maybe progresses him to go back to the light. You never know.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe.
again, it's a story that game, depending how you played it, right, is kind of how it ends. Like you're either going to be good or you're going to be bad, and both have been badly for the character, unfortunately. Those spoilers out there, but I think it would be kind of neat to see. I'd love to see him in live action, and we already have the actor that voted as the voice and everything.
So he's ready. He's ready, man.
But I wonder if it's kind of a thing for Sam because he does Maul's voice. Like how much does he want to really put into that character since he voices Maul? I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not even getting any more Maul. Like, I'll take anything with Sam Witwer. Give us more Maul. Give us Starkiller, please.
Yeah,
dude, give us a moving moment of Maul coming down from Clone Wars season 7, throwing the door, chopping a clone trooper in half, ripping the arm off.
Yeah.
Dude, give me a Foley scene. That's a movie moment, and that'll be. And if that's the last Maul I ever see, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Another one would be neat is if they did it kind of like that Masonic Civil War statue at Gettysburg where he's got what's called Fallen Brother. You've got a Confederate soldier in the arms of a Union soldier looking down on him and caring for him. The Obi-Wan Maul scene, that posing is very similar to that statue even. And I can see that kind of, is he the chosen one? Yeah. Like that would be a good movie moment kind of statue they could do with a pup.
Yeah. Oh man. That would be
Maul
awesome.
was such a good character. And I watched your stream YouTube on the other day.
Yeah.
And I agree with you in the sense that it reminded me of that Spider-Man 3 where they brought in Venom and they killed Venom in the same I'm like, how do you do that to the biggest nemesis of Spider-Man?
Yeah.
To Star Wars, you bring in this total badass, right? And I mean, I don't know what kid and fan didn't get excited when that door opened.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, and then all of a sudden out the second side.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
So I must have watched that trailer like I don't know 100 times.
Kill him 20 minutes later. It was like, dude, that was the coolest guy ever. How do you kill him so quick? So I was so happy that Filoni and the animation team was able to devise a way to bring that character back. So very happy they did that because Maul it's interesting to see a very complex character, someone that grew up with the Night Sisters, trained would you say kidnapped? He was kind of taken, right? He wasn't really adopted. He was taken pretty much from the Night Sisters by Sidious, trained as an apprentice, kind of gets hosed because let's face it, he realizes when he sees Anakin, well, you're good, but I'm going to trade up, right? So then he wants to bring down Anakin. He has to meet Ahsoka. And he's like, who are you? Like, you little, it was just kind of interesting that whole scene. Like, I was expecting Kenobi, who are you? Like,
why are you here?
He's got a challenge,
Yeah.
She kind of shows him up, like, and then taunts him. You're lucky you're fighting me and not Anakin. Like, he didn't have his A game that day.
Like such a great character. And some of my most favorite pops actually are Darth Maul ones.
Yeah.
I've always thought Maul just looked so menacing. Like, I mean, how can you not make any of the face markings, the horns?
Yeah.
I think also the element that made Maul awesome, you don't get a lot of him in the one movie he was in, right? You only have, and I think they used him like kind of like a Vader. You can't bring a baddie in that's so awesome. They're going to, because once he enters the screen, you forget about everything else.
Yeah.
That's how good Maul is. So.
Like how Boba Fett was in the OG, like everyone was like, "Who is this guy? He's so cool." And he had like 3 minutes of airtime.
Yeah. I think a little the anonymity and mystique kind of goes a long way with a character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, I just wish that we got to see him more in live action besides the cameo in Solo.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted
Yeah.
Solo too. I wanted to see that story.
Yep.
Oh, I still do.
Chris, you are the one fan that definitely supports Solo 2 because whenever you wear that shirt, I think you're right, man. That movie
Oh,
Every
yeah.
time.
got the
Every
hose
time
because
I
of
see that
Last Jedi
shirt.
backlash.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought the kid did a
Hashtag
great
make
job.
Solo 2 happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, make it a series. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened to that Lando show, but if you're not going to do Lando, go this route. Go
Yeah.
Solo 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the cast. I didn't think that the what Aiden or whatever his name was that did Han did a bad job, and I love the guy that did the younger Lando. So
Yeah. Donald
Yeah.
make
Glover.
that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
And
the
if
deep
it
freak
means we get more
technology.
Maul, for sure.
Yeah.
100% more Maul because we didn't get what would have been cool is I thought for sure at Solo when we're getting all those Kira and this one
Yes.
I thought for sure we were going to see like a hologram version of Maul sitting on the throne with the metal legs, the big robes, and his double-bladed saber. For
Yeah.
sure thought we were going to see that, and when it never came, I was like, wow, really? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But continuing on our list of Red Lightsaber series Funko Pops we'd like to see in Volume 2, we got a few Inquisitors on our list here. So the first one's the Second Sister. So Second Sister, that was from the which game was that?
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Yeah. So did we get one? We got one in the gaming greats, I think.
We did
did.
with the helmet on. Yeah.
With the helmet
Yeah.
on.
Yep.
So yeah, no, a Second Sister, maybe in a different pose. What do you think about that one?
I would love
That's
it.
one we could get.
Because I liked her a lot in the game. Like Trilla, like it was fun with her in the game. All the times you had to fight her, the stuff that happened with her at the end. But it'd be cool to see it in a pose, especially with the Inquisitor lightsaber, how unique that is. It would look cool seeing that lit up posed in that Funko series. So that's probably the second most Inquisitor that I would want. She's like up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I really like Second Sister, and because she reminded me a lot of the Sarah Michelle's Seventh Sister character. So
Yeah,
I thought it was well done. And then that storyline, to me, kind of echoed in the Obi-Wan series with Reva a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
And one thing about this Red Lightsaber series, like they got a lot more space to play with. Like the base is a lot bigger than your standard Funko Pop base. So they could have the lightsaber like stretched out, like arms stretched out.
Yeah.
So even with characters that like the Darth Vader one, like that's a two-handed pose. The lightsaber's out a bit more. Like that wouldn't fit in the regular box.
No, it wouldn't.
So they got a little more room to play with this series. So so we also have a version of the Second Sister. If you're not going to do the Second Sister with the helmet on, do one without the helmet even.
Yeah, I would want that more. I would want without the helmet more, especially because we already have her with the helmet from the game line.
Correct.
Definitely give me Trilla with no helmet, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. This is the one I was thinking of too, because I think when you get to the end of the game, you kind of see it. And the only one I've gotten to it, as I was laughing with Christopher earlier, because I'm stuck on the level for 2 years. So someone wants to come to my house, has the dexterity to get past where you slide on the ice and jump on the ropes. I'm still stuck there, both on Xbox and PlayStation. So
Patrick will pay your flight and give you a
get me unstuck, and then we'll continue to play. So the only reason I see this is because I was so desperate to see how the rest of the story goes.
Yeah.
And then I had to watch all the animations and stuff. So when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, what a great story! I love it." So
story, phenomenal.
Yeah.
So the next one we have is the fifth brother. So we already got one Funko Pop from Rebels.
The Rebels series.
The OG one,
and we're getting an Obi-Wan Kenobi one this year. So yeah.
Good.
My only hope is when they do it, and again, it's just from my perspective, having taken an image of it. The face, I want a little more detail in the paint job, because when I was lighting it, I realized he's all one color. There's no real other details in the one that's done for Rebels. It's that bluish green, grayish color. and I think for me to paint the eyes, do some other details in it would make it pop a little bit more. And I think they really need to do that, considering they had him in the Obi-Wan series, a
Yeah.
newer
Yeah.
one that looks a little bit darker, meaner would be cool. Now,
Yeah.
I think for what they did for Rebels, fine. But I know just when I was lighting it, I was like, man, if there's a little more detail, because I
Yeah.
really had to throw light literally through the side of his face to get in any cracks and crevices to pull the detail of his face. Otherwise, it was too flat. And it was
Yeah.
just kind of, like, not washed out, but you know what I mean.
Flat.
So
Yeah.
I really want to see this guy done up nice.
Yeah.
He looked pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I think the Red Lightsaber series gives Funko an opportunity to do that too, like play around with like different textures, details on the face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like the fifth brother, but like if they do him, I would want that and at least a couple other Inquisitors. Like if he's the only Inquisitor they do, I'd much rather have a bunch more that are on this list than him.
yeah,
So like hopefully they would do a couple with him and not just him and 4 other like different people.
yeah,
So hopefully
Yeah,
they
so you
do a
have
couple
an
or all of them.
Inquisitorius,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. At
Yeah.
least 3, I would hope. At least 3 out of the 5 are Inquisitors, and then like Asajj and somebody else.
yeah.
Maybe they don't do a red blade include. They just do the Inquisitorius and have a whole series.
A whole
of those.
series, yeah.
Oh,
And it connects like the bounty hunters.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If they
Yeah.
connect
That
like
would
the
be
bounty
great.
hunter, that
'Cause you
would
could
be
do it with
awesome.
every one of them, all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
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 So the next Inquisitor would be the sixth brother,
Ah, this
Yes,
and that
please,
one, yeah,
please.
from Tales of the Jedi.
He's
He
probably
looks
my
awesome.
favorite out of all
Yeah.
of them. 'Cause he just looks so unique, so
so
scary.
different too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the cape with the Imperial cog logo on it.
Yes.
That kind of
That mask.
kind of has that it reminds me of the Wakanchu from
Yeah.
Oh,
Moon
from
Knight,
right. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it also kind of harkens back to the remember those masks they used to wear during the plague? He kind of had that look, like
Mm.
just dark, grotesque kind of evil look to him.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
badass. Like, you gotta do him.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
one would be
I'm
a
thinking
must.
that they did that sculpt for Moon Knight's Conchu or whatever.
Yeah.
You would think you could kind of do a little bit of a
Exactly.
monster mash and
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. So then
Yeah,
the
no, the
next
sixth brother for sure.
Yeah, sixth brother for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't, I think that might be the next custom I attempt to make.
Oh,
But yeah, no,
nice.
like you guys are both saying, like they could just do a red lightsaber series, even if they don't do it volume 2. If they get to volume 3, do all the Inquisitors in
All
one
Inquisitors.
volume, right?
Yeah.
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 Just have the Inquisitorius line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just any red lightsaber series, like any red lightsaber wielding character, even just it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
red lightsaber series. They like you said, yeah, Inquisitorius series or whatever. But so the next one's what, the seventh sister. So she was in Rebels as well. So we already got a pop of her. I don't have that pop.
I have that one, and it's kind of neat
I have
because
it.
she's got her helmet, but it's
Yeah.
the face mask's
open.
open. So you see
Yeah.
the face.
Yeah, so
Kinda
she's kind of a unique character too.
I would
So-
love that one, and I would want them to have her little droid
I was gonna
floating in
say
the
the
air
little
by
Yeah.
her, or on the shoulder.
100%.
Like they better include the droid. Like, yeah, she was great. I loved her in Rebels.
I'd love to see that as a design. Had the seventh sister helmet
droid.
closed with the droid popping off
Yep.
off her shoulder. That
Yeah.
would be awesome. And they've done that with Cal Kestis and some others where they're including the droid. Like
Yeah.
Cad Bane has
Cad
one on the
Bane,
side. of
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Pop him on the shoulder like a parrot.
Exactly.
So after the seventh sister, we got the ninth sister. So that one's from the comics, I believe, isn't it?
It's
And
Fallen
from
Order.
And Fallen Order as well.
Yeah, Fallen Order.
So,
I still haven't played the game, so
it's a great game.
Yeah.
Oh, you're missing out on a lot of story.
I know.
Yeah. But the ninth sister in the game, I could not beat her for the longest. It took me forever. I went into the settings and changed it to easy, killed her, put it back to normal because it was so frustrating. Like she's so big and just that fight was annoying, man. But once you put it in easy, I was good to go. That'd be a cool one. I'd take it, but it's not like on the top of my list. But if they made it, I would get it.
Yeah, like I'm not hooked on the character, but I must say the aesthetics of that character, because she kind of reminds me of that big thing you see in the Force Awakens with the little horns off on the
Oh
chin.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just to have a big hulking bad guy, because we don't have a hulking character of that stature, you know. So that's for me what would sell me on this one, is just it would be so unique, because you can't do a normal size. You'd have to make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So that's why my thought was, if we were doing a Red Saber series, Inquisitor style series, this one had to be included because it's so unique and different from all the others, just size wise.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
She's mammoth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only larger pops I can think of, like they did the Dark Trooper a little taller than usual that I can think of, and I don't know. I think that's it.
I find is a little taller is I think my K2SO.
Yeah, K2SO. Yeah, that's right.
The other thing, he just seems almost too skinny. That's the only thing I don't like about this. Like, it's just not enough to him. He's very stick like, and then he's got this big head. That's the only thing I don't like about my K2SOs.
Yeah, I agree. So they could do a really good job of this one. Make him a little bit bigger, like you said, hulkier. I guess is the term that you use.
It's just she's a huge character. Like, she's a beast. She'll throw you around.
Yeah.
She needs to use the lightsaber, but the Force just throw you up and down against the concrete a couple times. You'll be all set.
So the last actually that is the last Inquisitor. So the last couple red lightsaber wielding characters we have on our list, there are a couple of deep cuts, I guess. So the first one's Darth Talon. What do you think about that one? You think that's one that they could go that far back and bring it from Legends and do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's from Legends. Isn't that like Maul's like apprentice in Legends? Yeah, because I remember, I don't know much about her, but I remember seeing rumors that George's idea for the sequel trilogy was Maul training her and Luke having to fight Maul and Darth Talon, where we were robbed of some possible glorious movies. But I would take it, but I don't think they'll do it because only
it's Legends.
Like we know who she is, but like your person that goes into GameStop or Walmart for pops and sees it, they're gonna be like, who's that? Are they in the Mandalorian? Like, they're not gonna know.
No. And the thing is, like, I don't think she was in a game. She was just like expanded universe.
Yeah, like she's in just that. Yeah.
And that's why we need Solo 2, because then you can introduce her in Solo 2 and then segue her into whatever's coming next. You know what I mean? Because I think if you have Darth Talon and then you could use that connective tissue to Thrawn, that's my opinion.
Yeah,
you could segue to it. Would make more sense if you introduced them in that way. But I think she's just awesome. And I did hear a lot of the leaked rumors and whatnot, how Darth Talon was going to be, her and Maul were going to be the baddie of the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
that would have been cool. And I think what threw it off is nobody wanted to introduce the whole Mortis line, because he was going to be the brother was from Mortis was going to be kind of a part of that too. And I think trying to bring that into the story for most people that don't know anything about Clone Wars, let alone a 2 or 3 episode arc in Clone Wars, it was too much for them to depend on, this guy's already established. So I kind of felt bad about that, but I still would have liked to see them bring Darth Talon, because to have a Twi'lek that's got the tattoos like Darth Maul, a Sith, and someone who is pretty badass and just badass looking. I mean, how many people go cosplayer at a Star Wars convention
all the time?
Right? Like, just for fandom alone, hook it up.
Yeah, for sure. So the last character we got on our list, it's probably another one that's a little far-fetched that Funko will actually make in the Red Lightsaber series, but he could show up in the the gaming greats because he is from the game. So it's Jarek from Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight.
That's a deep cut.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's deep.
cut.
I never played it. I don't know who the guy is. I'll take anybody with a red lightsaber, but yeah.
Yeah, no, this was like my jam back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a few minutes to remember who he was when we were talking about it, and then when you showed the picture, I'm like, I know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
It is a deep cut, but it's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
So I could see them doing it in the gaming greats, but the red lightsaber series maybe not. But still a very cool looking character, like Tony just said. Like anyone with a red lightsaber, just give us a pop.
Yeah.
Hey, they introduced this character, as I would say, this is during the dark times when there was only 3 movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't have the prequel trilogy yet, and the sequel trilogy wasn't even a fart in the wind of a concept. So I think at this point, when they did it, I think the only thing I didn't like about it was just, could they do something cooler? You can't just be a bad guy because you got paint right across your eyes as a mask.
Yeah.
You gotta have a cape, and you gotta be missing a limb or something.
Yeah.
Where's your animatronic? So I don't know, but I think that was a cool idea. I wouldn't have thought of that one, because other ones that I hadn't thought of is they did do a gaming greats. I think it was it Malgus with the
Malik? Yeah.
And he's kind of got like that half mask kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like from like here down. I think that I would like to see him there. That would have been kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's our list. You had some on your list as well, Tony.
Yeah, who did you have, Tony?
So, and they already have a pop, but I'm going to show you right now. But everyone else on my list, you guys covered. You guys nailed it. So we're all on the same page, except for this one guy who was only in one piece of media in one episode, and I freaking loved it.
All right.
But
who is it?
The Ronin.
The Ronin. Oh.
Shit.
Talk about red lightsabers. His sword saber. Imagine that with the crazy pose.
Yeah.
It's red.
I would love him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because it even surprised the Sith he was fighting, right?
Yeah.
I thought for sure we would have gotten that. You know what? Now that you brought that up, I should have added her because she was on my head and I totally spaced it, putting her in there. I wanted to have her with the umbrella lightsaber.
How cool would that look too?
And if it would like rotate,
glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Take my money.
Yep. But yeah,
that's a good call, Tony. That's
Ronin.
a good call.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that one either.
Yep.
You might as well
cover everybody else.
We should have thought about that because we could have included the one from the Elder, that little old guy.
Oh yeah,
Manchu.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah,
with the two
Visions
swords.
had some sleeper.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, that's what I would love to see.
Yes. See, I didn't pick up that pop that you have there, Tony. I wanted to get the individual one.
Yeah, the one that comes with the T-shirt.
Yeah. That just never made it up this way.
Yeah. Yep. I got this. I think I paid full price for this one at Target, but during Black Friday, I got this one half off online. So I ordered it online, in-store pickup, so I was able to snag this one.
Yeah, I had to get it.
Oh, yeah, it's both too, yeah.
You gotta check it out. It's so
I had
gorgeous.
to get this one. This is the first one I got. I wasn't gonna get the one with the T-shirt, but then I was walking through and I was thinking, getting ready to pack for Disney. I was like, well, you know what? If I get this, I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I have a new T-shirt to wear when I get to Disney, and it's one less thing I have to worry about, like washing or anything. Get it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
even though it looks like you didn't open yours.
Yeah, I just want that individual one because he'll sit right next to my my Kare and my Am Funko Pop.
Oh yeah.
So
it'll look good for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's I don't know. There's got to be other red lightsaber characters that we could see. Maybe not in the red lightsaber series, but maybe like the gaming greats even. Like we saw.
I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, we saw Darth Revan, so I don't think we'll get another Revan.
Or the guy in Fallen Order, I forgot his name. Was his lightsaber red? That Cal fought on Dathomir. Was it Dathomir? Yeah, there's just some random dude chilling there. but I don't think his saber was red, was it? I
No.
think it was a Jedi that just turned dark and he's just hanging out on Dathomir.
Yeah, there's probably some that we're not thinking of.
How
Some real
about,
deep
wasn't there
cuts.
that game with the two brothers? It was like a old Republic, and it's the two brothers, and the one goes to kill the father, and he protects him, and he ends up
Hmm.
getting, like, in that battle. You see him fighting Sith, and you've got because Talon's in the video too, and he's got like that
Yeah.
half mask kind of covering the respirator kind of area of his
Oh
face.
yeah,
Mm.
I know, yeah. You see the
Remember that the two boys they grew
yeah,
up with
just
nothing.
like the Darth Vader kind of mask covering his mouth.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
and it kind
Yeah,
of
Yeah,
I
goes up a
seen
little
that.
bit up his face on a diagonal, like
yeah,
he got
Yeah,
half his face battle damaged or something. I don't know
yeah.
if he ever gets a red blade in that or anything, but that'd be cool.
yeah, no,
I
for
just
sure.
thought that character alone, seeing the two twin brothers, one good, one bad, like that to me, I'm surprised that Hasbro didn't come out with a figure, let alone Funko do something, because that just was a cool
Yeah,
story, and
Yeah.
even those like weird looking, I don't know what they were. They kind of reminded me of that Japanese version of the stormtroopers that they did. You know how
Right.
they're training, and when she like blows up all the armor on them with the force, that was pretty cool. Because there's like two characters. You got the two twin boys, then you have the young girl that gets stolen away from the mother, and they have that whole
Mhm.
cinematic
Yeah.
movie kind of scene of her trying to rescue it and her daughter, but she's taken away by the temple guards and whatnot. And then when she goes back later, like she's got all these markings. Kind of reminded me of that Eddie Murphy movie with the was it the Golden Child, where she's sitting in the
Oh,
middle
Yeah.
and there's like
classic.
Yeah.
monks surrounding her,
Yeah,
chanting like
yeah,
Sith prayers or something, and then
yeah.
she goes to attack her mother for goodness sakes. I thought that was pretty. It was an interesting animation
Mhm.
for one of the games, but I'd love to see something like that again. When you didn't have new content, you didn't have Disney Plus, you didn't have the sequel trilogy and all these projects.
Yeah.
So it was interesting then what people were coming up with. I think a lot of people
Yeah.
held on to the Timothy Zahn as the next gospel with Heir to the Empire
Well,
and
I
everything
think
like that.
I think if Disney Plus came out back then, or if these stories came out now, things would be different for
Oh,
Yeah.
way
sure.
different. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting how it all came to play, right? Like I think during the pandemic, you couldn't have asked for a better time for that to drop.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have. It was like
Yeah.
bing, perfect.
Yep.
Because everyone was captivated at home. And I mean, I know there's Lodge brothers that, they're way older than me, and they were like, "Oh, I watched The Mandalorian," and my head just was like, "What? Really?"
Yeah.
So The Mandalorian captured a larger audience than the usual Star Wars fan. So I was
It did.
pretty impressed with
Yeah.
that.
No, it did for sure.
I
Yeah.
think that the idea of it kind of being a little more Western helped, but it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I want to see more Tales, but I'd like to see like Tales of the Sith.
Sith. Yep.
Tell some
100%.
Yes.
backstory. Like, let's do that. Let's make it happen. Like that. That is a really cool. The Tales of the Jedi was such a great piece of animation and content to deliver some great story points that fill in holes. Right?
Yeah.
We've never
Yeah.
gotten to
Absolutely.
see Dooku and Qui Gon together. That was
Yeah.
awesome. You
Yeah.
know, to see Ahsoka was identified long before the Jedi came to her village
Yeah.
as she's Jedi, like by that little kind of mysterious woman of the village. She's kind of like their
Yeah.
shaman.
The
Yeah.
Like
elder.
she knew
Yeah.
from the moment she came waltzing in that she was on that tiger.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool, and the having the sixth brother again, another really really cool looking character that you've
Yeah.
never seen. Boom, he's there, he's gone. Unfortunately, by the end of the episode, I think I go back to the episode and I literally have it queued up to go right back where he's holding the lightsaber by that kid's head,
And
and
then dragging it.
to where she kills him, and I just
Yeah.
rewind it back and go right back to that episode.
Yeah.
Because that's
It's
awesome. The
so
music,
good.
you've got the kind of Japanese drums, going.
Yeah.
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 It's so good. Like that, I can see the Lucas, the Filoni, the Kurosawa in that episode, and it's just so good.
Yeah.
I think you saw it when they did Mando with Ahsoka entering. It was
Yeah.
banger,
Yeah.
banger.
So
That was
out of
awesome.
all these characters, these the ones that we mentioned here, which one do you want to see the most made into a Funko Pop? whether it be in Red Lightsaber series or just like a standard
Oh,
Funko Pop form.
well,
Which one do you want to see the
Chris.
most?
I think the one I would want the most in the red saber would be the sixth brother because it'll look amazing. But as a single pop, I would say Asajj because she earned it. Like we need it.
Yeah,
So Asajj and single because then they could just reuse that and make more of her. Like please,
yeah,
like they could. Yeah. So
I
her for
agree,
single.
Asajj.
But in the Saber series, the brother, the sixth brother, just because it just looks so cool.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I gotta agree.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
for
that.
sure.
The tattered cape, the logo on it.
Yeah.
The double blade, both blades.
Yes.
What'd be cool is they do that scene where he's walking up to her and he's dragging the bottom of
Yeah.
his double blade
Yep.
against the sand.
Yep. That would be
That'd be
amazing.
It
Yeah,
was just so awesome. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Grievous a little bit, the way he sounded.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Even how he looked a little bit.
And as soon as she, takes his head off and just it like deflates like a balloon, you're just like,
yeah. What?
yeah,
like
Yeah.
that shocked. I was like, what the heck? That I don't know, but that was awesome. That was
Yeah.
awesome. Give me some more. Like, give me some backstory to that character.
right.
Tell me a Tales of the Jedi story where we meet that dude and what makes him become a Sith. I don't care, but like, let's have him
Yeah.
terrorize some people because he was terrifying. He
Yeah.
was just awesome. looking.
Absolutely.
So awesome.
But
So
I think that'll. Sorry, you go ahead, Tony.
So I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
Now, Celebration is coming up the first week of April.
Yes.
So I'm guessing next month we should start getting reveals of what exclusives they have. So
hopefully,
do you guys have any predictions on what Funkos we might see at London Celebration released?
Well, isn't it an anniversary for Return of the Jedi?
yeah.
So it's
40th
Return of the Jedi,
anniversary.
40th. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I tend to think there'll be something connected to at least two, if not more, connected to that possibly.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
see,
yeah.
So they usually go with what's relevant usually in that
Mhm.
year, right? So I think maybe we'll get maybe one Return of the Jedi Funko Pop, and then I think something from Mando, and then Ahsoka.
You think something from Kenobi maybe because we haven't gotten the Inquisitors. What about the helmet Vader with missing?
No, I honestly don't think
I
they're
think
gonna.
I think the Vader with the helmet missing could be a potential one, but I don't think like Kenobi pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a whole list of Kenobi pops. I think I mentioned them in one of my other videos on
Yeah, you did.
my other
Yeah.
channel there. So I think those are all commons. So yeah, the
I-
Vader missing the helmet could be a potential one,
Would be
but I think
sick,
they'll
yeah.
stick with Mando season 3. I
Maybe
think they'll stick with
Ahsoka pops
Ahsoka. Yeah,
from the Ahsoka
I think
show.
Ahsoka
Yeah.
maybe to kind of help promote that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think
Or
they'll probably
like
do that.
or maybe they'll start and we'll have one or two Tales of the Jedi pops, maybe
Oh,
start
yeah.
there.
Ooh,
That'd
that
be
would-
crazy.
But I think
Yeah.
if they did a Return of the Jedi, like, what could they do? They could do a movie moment would be great. Vader being held by Luke, mask totally off, him
Yeah.
holding it,
That would be cool.
right? That would, if you're gonna get one pop that's gonna say Return of the Jedi, that tells the whole story in one pop.
Yeah.
Luke and Vader there at the end. That would be awesome. They could do a Vader on a funeral pyre and have our acrylic fire.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Right?
I
That'd
kind of
be dope.
want a big old fat Jabba in the wide box. Like, give me a Jabba.
Yeah. Like
That'd
the
be
common, but like yeah.
Big,
Well, I mean they
scale.
released the that 3-pack.
With
Salacious
Salacious and Leia. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something I forgot about that, but yeah, something
I
like
have
that.
I think
would be
that's the one
cool.
I have. is that.
Yeah, because he's bigger. He's like 6 inch, right, to scale on that one.
He's a little bit longer. The other one
Yeah.
that he did single, he's
He's just
bigger.
all crammed in though. Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I'm interested to see what they're gonna have, and hopefully it's a good amount because I know the 2016 celebration in London, it was only like 5 pops they released, so it wasn't a whole lot. But things have changed now, so I guess we'll see if they're gonna do a bunch or not.
Yeah, please just don't give us a resculpt and repackage and throw glitter on it. That's what I don't want.
Yeah, I know.
Like that Grogu, I didn't want it. Only, I mean, I didn't really care for the glitter. It's already the same kind of pose, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
again, for my usage of collecting them and trying to take pictures of it, it wasn't going to serve any purpose except to sit on the shelf. So that's why I didn't even bother. I think if they do another glitter one, I think
Oh, they
I'm
better
not a
not,
big collector of those,
man.
and I don't think a lot of fans love it. I think it's kind of like, okay, it's unique enough that it'll be a one-off that you have to have, but I mean, I don't see people trying to attain and get those like they are the
No.
Obi-Wan Ghost one that you have. Like that.
Yeah.
That for sure is a grail for me to get. That one and Rex are my two grails that I want to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I did pass on one the other day. Jedi Lex saw that I was looking for the Ewok on the speeder bike, and someone had it in
Ooh.
Macari, and it was like $70. And right now, I let it go. I
Oh.
was like, $70.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna let that one.
Yeah.
I want it though. It is cool. It is cool because it's fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that'll do it for the stream or for the this episode of the Star Wars Popcast. Tony, where can people find you?
So
on
they can find
Instagram?
me on YouTube, Star Wars Sith. I think the handle, if you search it, is at Star Wars Sith 66 to make it easier to pop up.
66.
And then on Instagram, Star Wars Sith. So, yep.
Yeah, I'll link everything in the description as well on here on
Thank
YouTube
you.
and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys are listening to the podcast here. But thank you so much for coming on. Episode
thanks
for
4
having
of
me,
the
guys.
podcast. And that'll do it for us. Patrick, where can people find you when you're not on the podcast?
When I'm not on the podcast, I'm on my channel, Toy Photographer, TOYPHOTOGFR, kind of like a license plate. And basically, I photograph Funko Pops in creative, fun ways, and try to do something creative with them. So if you down to see some really cool images, check it out. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, the whole nine.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when I am not on the podcast, I am on my other channel, Seriously Star Wars, doing Star Wars reviews. But thank you so much for watching and listening wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and we will see you in the next episode.